things that's interesting, and I'm glad you answered that question that way, because I would have said to you the second you start saying something about whether or not you did or not, I would have told her to be quiet. Because she lives in a state that you reporting that would get her arrested. And possibly social services could come by right now before the bill passes and disrupt her entire family. So, tough question to ask. Now me, listen to me. I lived in California, had a business in California. I'm a card-carrying member in California. I was part of the reason for about 9 states in this country having medical marijuana laws. I've testified, I've written the legislation, I've been sitting side by side by the lobbyists. I just was working last year in Missouri. I'll be working next year, hopefully, in Florida. I'm going to be working around the country to continue to demand that patients have access to medication they need for their illnesses. From my perspective, if no one in this room has the nerve to be, last year, my daughter, my second child, a year and a half ago, went through about a 2-year nightmare. She was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, had one of the most virulent types, went through cutting-edge research, front-line, most successful medication ever used for this disease. She got it, and it didn't work. So 4 months later, she was back again with a vengeance. I sat in the office with her and her doctor. My daughter is 26 years old. Her doctor was kind of like not even looking at me, trying not to acknowledge me. I'm being the dad. What are you going to do? What? And he starts telling me this procedure that they're going to have to do to my child that, includes stem cell, includes chemotherapy, includes just massive doses of try to kill her first to see if she'll come back. He's having this discussion and he's saying, the lining of your esophagus could come up. You might throw it up. Your skin's definitely going to come off. Your hair is going to fall out. You're going to be sick. I wanted to punch this man right in the face. How dare you to do this to my child? But I should say that my child went through that procedure, and now in January she got notice from a doctor. She's cured. Haven't seen the cancer in her. She's doing really well. She moved back home. If I had opened up my mouth the same way other people do about cannabis, I would have been jumping up and down saying, don't burn her esophagus. Stop, you can't do that. But I didn't have a right to the conversation. It was between a patient and a doctor. Father was not included. This child was like, this child, she's included. The child wasn't. The reason why I even bring this up is because how can we then get in a conversation between a doctor and a patient when it comes to cannabis? There's zero reason. We have no business being in someone else's medical issues, and we need to get out of it. So for me, what does it do for me? I started using cannabis now 14 years ago on a daily basis. I am what we would consider in this field saturated. And what has that done for me? It's relieved my neuropathic pain by probably about 18 to 19%. It completely stopped my night spasms. If I don't consume cannabis before I go to sleep, I will kick my wife out of the bed against the wall. I shake all night long. I now have had, it took about 3 years. And let's get this straight. Cannabis isn't the miracle. Just like OxyContin isn't a miracle. There's not one drug made by a drug manufacturing company in this country that has a claim that it works for more than 30% of the population. Period. Because that's the bar it needs to meet. Cannabis may not work for everyone, but for me, not only did it reduce my pain, my spasticity, but I also am damaged now for life because of the amount of OxyContin and opioids that I was taking. So I've damaged the peristalsis reaction in my intestines. If you understand what that means, I have to eat a considerable amount of cannabis to make it run through my intestines. I do that almost every day. And I'm standing here before you because what you'll notice in the 1999 study that was done in San Diego, we know now for a fact, because of our endocannabinoid system, cannabinoids really affect me entirely different than they do. Because my system is damaged, cannabinoid, my system understands how to find the components and use that to help relieve a few things. I don't get the same euphoria that most people do. I don't care if it has 900% THC. It does not affect me that way. And there are lots of other people that were realizing the same thing for. And this whole idea about CBD, THC, the doctor who discovered this has stated himself unequivocally, there is an entourage effect, Both are needed to be a driving force for the other. Thanks.
Questions?
That was a long answer, I'm sorry.